Hi everyone, it's a pleasure for me to be here with Janet Harvey, a person, a coach, and a professional that I admire for a long time. Me as a coach and also a supervisor in coaching and teaching courses and making my life and working with coaching. I really believe that, and I see every day that we need to talk with someone, not just about our practice, coaching practice, but we must have dialogues that help us to uncover dark sides of our routines, our practice. And I love to be inspired when I'm thinking about my practice. And I learn so much, not only about me, but also about my clients and mainly about coaching, about the process. I'm very inspired when I'm supervised. So I'm here with Janet because I'd like you, Janet, to tell us who are you and why supervision is so important.
Thank you, Anna. Your inspiration's contagious. So keep doing whatever you're doing. One of the things that I think is so important, particularly for those of you that have been practicing as a coach for a while, when we get some distance from our initial coach certification training, it can start to feel a bit lonely and isolating. And we realize, wow, we have the fundamentals, but am I being as artful as I could be? Am I being true to the competency model that I learned? Am I using the tools in as congruent a way as I could be? And how would I find that out? And of course, one of the ways is mentor coaching, getting coaching on your coaching. And that's a fine technical skill and often is incorporated into coaching supervision. However, supervision has a very different intent. And I didn't know this until I went and got training as a coaching supervisor. And I will confess, I walked into coaching supervision training with a bit of skepticism on my shoulder. Geez, I'm already a really artful coach. I've been coaching since the early 90s. What's this really all about? And what I discovered, two things that are constants in my own work as a coach. One is, how do I be a good student of my own work? And I don't mean so much technically. I mean more, can I cultivate an inner coach observer? Am I able to be aware of what's getting activated in me as my client is expressing? How am I staying as clean, unbiased, unswayed, unswept by what the client is saying when it doesn't match up with my worldview, so that I can stay present and fully available to the client? That takes work. Awareness is never a habit. It is always a practice, and particularly inner awareness. And often the only way for me to catch it is something feels uncomfortable. Use the word dark side. So for me, I would say something's disturbing what feels easy and natural and fun. Those are my moments when I realize it's time for a coaching supervision session. I do have a regular supervisor session every month, and I'm always bringing cases of client situations where I have felt those disruptions. Michael Carroll is a wonderful writer about ethical practice in the helping professions, and I love how he articulates being more faithful to the relationship than to our duty. So that's what I mean about being a good student of my work. How am I building relationship? How am I partnering? How am I sustaining an edge of challenging my clients' thinking? Because of course everything they want is outside of their comfort zone and what's familiar. We by definition are working in the land of what's not known. Unsettling for us, unsettling for the client, and we're together building safety to explore that, letting our vulnerability create learning, which of course at the end of the day, coaching supervision is about development and learning, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
There's a second question that I work with all the time, and it's this. What's in my way of expressing my full potency today?
Wow.
Now, sometimes I work that question, what's in my way of expressing my full potency today? I do it in the morning in contemplation practice, or I do it when I'm out for a run or a hike in nature, or I sit down with my journal once a week and I recall the moments in my week when I didn't feel like I was on my game all the way. What was really going on, and I pushed through because doing is so important in the world. Being is equally as important, if not more so, particularly when we're in times like this. And the value I found in coaching supervision is that I'm looking holistically. I'm looking at my life in a picture, like I'm standing on a balcony looking down on the movie that's playing out over the week. And I can start to see patterns of ways that I'm relating, ways I'm choosing, ways I'm deciding, ways I'm interpreting, ways I'm emoting. And when I can see those in reflection, and I start to make some connections to what's motivating the way I'm making those choices and decisions, I now have more inner authority to make a different choice the next time it shows up, to do something more enlivening, more expressing of my full potency. Well, gosh, that's the exact same process we do with our clients. And we all know that we can't take clients where we haven't gone ourselves. So think about coaching supervision as a contribution to our ongoing up-leveling of our work and opportunity broadening, right? Bigger playground to play with. And I think the other piece is, how do I answer the question, am I doing quality work? Of course, we always ask our clients at some point in the relationship, probably multiple times, what are they valuing? What do they notice is their progress? What's that meant for their lives? And we get some satisfaction out of their harvesting of their own learnings. But the question we can't answer, because clients actually don't know really what's at the heart of what makes our partnership click, we can't answer, who were we being that allowed that experience for the client to emerge and become present and palpable and practical and useful to them? That must come out of our reflection process and doing that with another. So you'd asked me earlier about the logistics of coaching supervision, and it can work one-on-one, like you and I having a conversation here. And I also like doing it in groups because each person can bring a particular case situation with a client, or they can do like I do at the end of the week and stand on the balcony and go, oh, there's some patterns going on here that I don't understand. They can bring the pattern and they work with the supervisor in a bit of a fishbowl where everybody is listening, and it's an opportunity for each of us to go, oh, that's going on for me. Never occurred to me that was going on for me. I wonder what that's about. And together in the dialogue, we start to see, how do human beings relate when we have things that disrupt or disturb our natural flow? And in this way, coaching supervision is normalizing. It's also restorative, and it can be activating around a new choice that we make the next time we're with clients and that pattern starts to show up, which means we've kind of hollowed ourselves out internally and our inner coach has more eyes with which to see.
Wow, amazing. So I hear you saying that supervision is a powerful process journey, but group supervision can be a super powerful journey too, because we learn with our experiences and other experiences, things that we never realized that could happen. But okay, that's amazing. And Janet, thank you very much. I know you are an experienced coach. Also, you were president of ICF, Global ICF. I heard you for a long time. What do you think it could be the program we would like to launch for a small group of coaches? Because I realize that group coaching supervision must be a small group. Can you tell us about the structure you think it's better for this program?
Right. The research on group dynamics suggests that the optimal size, if you want to have psychological safety, today's term for that, there's room for vulnerability, is 7 to 9. And I happen to like the principle of wholeness. So the number 8 is all about balance and wholeness. And so I like to do group sizes of 8. And we do that as 10 sessions. So there's an opening session where we create our container. And how will we work with each other? How will we be together? What will we do if things feel a little bit too disruptive and jarring? How will we bring our field back into balance? And then each person will have their week when they'll bring some situation or case or pattern of interaction that we've been talking about here. And they'll have an opportunity to present that. And as the group coaching supervisor, my work is to create the space for that reflective dialogue and learning to occur. And then at least 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, it's really preference of the group, until the next session. And so we do 8 sessions, so everybody has an opportunity to work something. And then we have a closing session to harvest what's been developed in each of us. What do we now claim as a resource and strength interiorly? What are we aware has been able to transform in the way we relate to the way we work as coach practitioners? And in that way, celebration and completion of that circle for now.
Yeah, amazing. Something very important that I'm sure it will be present is the ethical dimension of coaching. And do you
I happen to adore ethics. I have had students laugh at me hilariously when they hear me say that in the course room. But the reason I adore ethics is because it's permission. When we have a strong environment that we've created with the people in the room about what it means to be ethical. What does it mean to be inclusive? What is equity? What is respect? What is candor? What is empathy? What is understanding? What is compassion? In behavioral language, we create an opportunity for people to see, I can bring all of myself here. Back to my core question about how do I be fully potent in this moment? What's either in my way or what would encourage me? To me, these are ethical conversations. And of course, it's rare that we get the depth of permission that coaches have with each other, with our clients. But we certainly can aspire to it. So we can learn to do it with each other. We have more courage and we have vocabulary and we have mindset to have that dialogue with our clients and the client system itself. So there is a ripple effect from doing coaching and supervision work that we take into our client work that helps to strengthen that psychological safety. And that's the key to ethical professional practice.
Yes, I'm sure. It's amazing. Janet, just to finish, I know you've been working with lots of companies, corporations, leaders. That's also an experience that you bring to these kind of programs. Your experience coaching them is something that you use also as a reference to these programs.
Absolutely. Coaching supervision is not a theoretical concept. It only exists because practice is occurring. Right? It only exists because practice is occurring. Supervision is about reflection on practice. So what is actually happening in a practitioner's relationship with their clients? And being able to examine that with a little bit of objectivity, with a lot of dose of empathy and compassion from your peers, and an opportunity to see, there were some choice points here that I didn't see because I was busy taking care of myself in the moment, right? I stepped out of presence, just as an example. We can talk about that abstractly, but it won't change anything. If we really want learning and growth, we must speak about it in very practical, pragmatic terms about what actually happened. What were the dynamics occurring in that relationship? What were the external influences that were creating the conditions that we were reacting to and had us miss what was possible for that client in that moment had we been more present? Or that we dismiss things that were distracting the client. So that pragmatic, practical element, very tangible component, is absolutely essential. So people who come to coaching supervision are bringing all of what their experience has been. And in this way, it is very immediately applicable back into your coaching practice and a highly accelerating and amplifying learning experience as a result.
Just to finish, if I am an ICF coach, for example, a certified PCC, this kind of programs, what kind of value or contribution gives me for my new accreditation? What do you say about that?
Well, I'm thrilled that ICF recognized this as part of professional development, because that's really what it is. So every hour of coaching supervision contributes to an hour of continuing education for renewal purposes, and it counts as core competency because it is about being a good student of your own work. Competency 2 in the new model, embodying a coaching mindset. How do you mentally and emotionally prepare? Well, we never stop preparing. We're always in preparing except when we're delivering. So to me, coaching supervision is a fantastic way to make sure that we're staying at the top of our game, that we're in the expression of our full potency as a coach. So it's central in my mind to honoring the professional development, continuous improvement commitment that is ethical maturity for coaches.
Thank you so much, Janet. I'm so excited to begin this journey with you, and I'm sure we'll have lots of other colleagues, coaches that will do this because they will be wiser and amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I look forward to partnering with you to create circles and give this opportunity to more coaches there in Portugal.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Take good care.
Bye. Bye.